Hey guys, Marstingan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. So we are going to check out the ZARBON and DODORIA that got their awakening today with the extra stage. So they are now a TUR. I still am expecting them to get an EZA, but we're going to see how good they are at this point. So they do supreme damage to the enemy and lower attack with their super. Their leader skill is only 50%, so with what we've been seeing from free-to-play units, I wouldn't be surprised if they do EZA and get like a 77% lead. But they are a leader for space-traveling warriors. And then their passive is attack and defense 70%. Then they get an additional 10% with each attack performed up to 50. So we need to attack 5 times to get them fully maxed. Then they get an additional 50% attack and defense when there's an ally whose name includes Frieza on the same turn. And then they also give space traveling warriors allies 2 ki and attack and defense 20%. So of course that includes them as well. So you can see from their hidden potential here, I gave them a little bit more additional than I did crit. And hopefully we can get those 5 attacks as quickly as possible. Now, the biggest problem that I see when looking at this card, as you can see, we are running them on a Space Traveling Warriors team. I feel like this is where you're going to use them, but you're going to use them as a 3rd slot floating unit. And maybe on a build of Space Traveling Warriors where you have like a Frieza on both rotations, so they get their full passive even though they're only in the 3rd spot. Because the problem is, we're going to show them off here, so we're going to use them in like main rotation. But we have 2 links with this Int Frieza, and we have no links with LR Frieza. So if you look up some of their best link partners, like none of them are Friezas. So they're a very strange card in the sense that they need to have a Frieza on rotation for them to get their full potential, but they don't link very well with Friezas. So this Frieza does give a support buff. We are starting off at 75k defense, which is pretty bad. But let's go ahead and see what we can get that up to. Of course, we're going to get super attacked in slot 1, because why not? So 172k. I haven't seen their animation yet, though, so okay, that's pretty funny. But yeah, so no additional. So we've got 1 attack, 4 to go. At least we're tanking normal attacks for double-digit damage, but yeah, taking that super was not ideal. I guess really we should have put them in slot 1. I just really wanted to see how they were going to tank that straight off the bat. So it's unfortunate that they got supered, because I did want to see how much they would take from a normal attack. As you can see, we aren't starting the event right from the very beginning, because of course in typical showcase luck fashion, we did have the ZARBON and DODORIA in slot 7. So didn't get them on rotation until turn 3. But go ahead and transform Bojack here. No real reason to, I guess, but this is going to be the other main rotation that we're running on the team. So we will finish off Goku here and move on to the Super Saiyan 3 phase. So at least in the next stage, we do have type advantage with ZARBON and DODORIA. So we'll see how they've increased after 1 super. They get a 10% buff. I'm not sure who we're going to have in the 3rd slot. The LR Frieza, possibly. Because LR Frieza obviously is a good unit to use on Space Traveling Warriors, who's going to be getting a buff from these guys, and they share just Nightmare. So not exactly the best setup. Let's go ahead and put them in slot 1. So they get Nightmare and Shocking Speed off of this Frieza. That's the best we can do on a Space Traveling Warriors team, with a Frieza anyway. So they're missing out on a bunch of links, but they obviously then get that 50% because they're on rotation with a Frieza. So I don't know what is technically working out the best, but yeah, so they're not even at 100k after the 1 super. So we'll go ahead and get off a couple more. Hopefully we can actually get an additional on this turn, but we'll see. I just want to see what they're going to look like fully built up, because honestly they seem very underwhelming to start with, especially because they don't link well with, you know, the people you want to use them with. So we managed to get to 1,000,000 attack stat. At least they lower attack. So I mean, maybe as a support unit on Space Traveling Warriors, once Space Traveling Warriors gets its own Super Battle Road stage, they could potentially be useful, because they're supporting the rest of the team whilst also lowering the enemy's attack. But their defense isn't good enough for them to like survive supers or anything. So when you're going into Super Battle Road, yes, a support unit for that category is nice. Them lowering attack is a little bit of a bonus. But if they're a massive defensive liability, then you probably don't really want to bring them. So, I mean, my initial thoughts, literally just from seeing 2 turns, is I really, really want them to get an EZA, because they just don't seem to be very good to start with anyway. And we've talked about this a lot before. Like, I don't think they should be doing this with EZAs for free-to-play units, where they're just bringing out free-to-play units, and then their TURs is kind of mid, but then a bit later on in the celebration they get an EZA and then they're good. Because the point of an EZA should be to take an old unit that's not really viable anymore and make them usable again. So, you know, you might as well make the TUR good, and then a year or two from now, then give them an EZA so they're good again. Now, obviously, the counter-argument to that, because I've spoken about this before, with free-to-play units, they don't really need to do that, because, like, what I'm saying is, make the TUR good, then in, let's say, a year, you EZA them so they're good again. But instead, what they do is they make the TUR mid, they give them an EZA straight away, so they're pretty good, and then a year later, when that unit is now unusable, the idea would then be they just release another new free-to-play unit, probably do the same thing again, where the TUR is mid but the EZA is good, and then that's it. They just keep repeating that cycle, essentially. So, we're just over 100k defense, but not by a huge amount here. I think Frieza probably kills because he has type advantage, so I will have to go ahead and put ZARBON and Dodoria in slot 1 here. God Goku is when you start to notice you take a little bit more damage. Bear in mind as well, that 100k defense is with the untransformed Bojack on rotation as well, so he's providing support on this rotation, and this is all that we're hitting. Can we actually get an additional super? There we go. So 1.35. And they're almost fully built up, and this is probably their best rotation on this team, because we actually have Bojack here for the support. But now we're going to take a super attack. 200k. Woof. Big damage on the super, even though we're almost fully built up with their passive. And yikes, that is a lot of damage. So, alright, so we'll go ahead and heal. I don't want to use a like attack up or anything, because I do just want to see their natural stats. Because the next turn we should be hitting their next attack will be what maxes out their passive. So we won't see their max defense at the start of the turn, because it will increase when they attack, but we will see their max attack stat when they get that super attack. So we're going to see next rotation. I believe we have no support on the next rotation, so this is just going to be them fully maxed out without support, 2 links active, because that's all we can get out of the Frieza, and yeah, we'll just have to see how that looks for them. But yeah, overall I would say kind of underwhelming. I mean, to take this much damage, you think about how like difficult the GT Legendary Goku event is, and the fact that we kind of joke now that the OG Goku event is not really even considered difficult anymore when you put it up next to the GT one, the Vegeta event that came out on Global, JP, the God event, the Collection of Epic Battles event. I think the later fights in that are probably more difficult than this, maybe. But yeah, so it's interesting to see that they're still struggling as much as they are in this event. So no support, we have just over 100k defense. And I say no support, but remember this Frieza is actually a support unit, so technically they're always getting some support. Are we getting the Dokkan attack here? We are. So let's see what the Dokkan attack is going to do in terms of damage. We can see their attack stat at the bottom, but we'll see what this is going to do damage-wise, considering we do at least have type advantage. That was going way slower than I expected. And their attack stat is 1.3. So 1.3 million is their max attack stat. With like, they're linked up with a support unit. Fair enough. Again, only 2 links active, but whew, that is not very good. So that means what? On the follow-up rotation where we would actually have STR Bojack in slot 3 for the extra support, they're maybe going to hit what, 1.5 maybe if we're lucky, maybe 1.6 if we're feeling really lucky. But yeah, we'll have to see. And only having just over 100k defense, that is quite a yikes, I will say. So yeah, heal up a little bit. Let's go ahead and finish off Goku here with the LR Bojack. Grab some same type of just to top off our HP a little bit, and then yeah, we'll see I guess their final turn against STR UI Goku, because we can actually see their start of turn defense We don't have a support, so maybe we'll wait until, I guess, the turn after when the STR Bojack comes back, because we're going to have the LR Frieza on this rotation. So this is them fully maxed out now. Their defense is 113k, so that is pretty bad. Definitely nothing to be impressed about, so we'll go ahead and do this. For the sake of surviving this turn, and then potentially the next turn, we'll go ahead and Whis, just because if they get super attacked in slot 1, that'll be pretty bad. Obviously, Frieza's going to get the guaranteed crit on the end. Yeah, typical. So this will probably still do a decent amount, even with a Whis active. Yeah, 162. Whew. And then their attack stat 1.4. So 1.4 without support is their maxed. Maybe I missed an attack previously, because that is a little bit higher. Oh, well, actually, no. LR Bojack. Wait, did we 18 key super with LR Bojack last turn? Because I believe he raises allies' attacks for 2 turns. So actually, we want to try and make sure we 18 key with Bojack on the next turn, because then that's going to give them the attack buff for the previous turn. Sorry, for the next turn. I believe it is for 2 turns, his attack support. We'll have to double check that here. So we'll keep it going another turn. So Frieza getting off his additional super, gets the crit. Then he gets the one from the hidden potential, because remember, mine's only 55%, but that means he's got a level 5 additional. Is he actually going to finish him off? Wow. Alright, well, we aren't going to one turn in UI, so at least there's that. But let's double check Bojack's attack buff thing here, because I believe it is for 2 turns. Oh no, it's just for 1 turn. Okay, so we can't get that. I don't know why I thought his was 2 turns, but there you go. So we still have the Whis active, so we can just go ahead and grab some same type orbs here. Frieza's going to get extra key from being in the last slot anyway, so outside of a super attack, everyone on this rotation should tank double digits anyway. And we won't do enough damage to kill, so we'll get one last rotation with ZARBON and Dodoria. They are going to have type disadvantage as well, so going to be a bit of a yikes, but we've got the support from STR Bojack, so this will be their best turn now that they are fully maxed out, and we have a support unit on rotation with them as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm not hoping for anything crazy. I'm not expecting, well, I mean, I'd be hoping for something good, but I'm not expecting anything crazy from them in this upcoming turn. So Bojack taking the super, not too much damage, that's okay. And then Frieza, decent crit. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put the Frieza in slot 1, just to make sure, yeah, because otherwise they're getting absolutely pummeled to death here. So what is their defense? 126k. That is very bad. So, alright, we'll go ahead and grab these, and then we'll take that heal. I mean, we might, hopefully we won't still die, because you never know. He could, out of all those attacks in the front, he could still super attack ZARBON and Dodoria. But here you go. So their defense, pretty bad. This is going to be their highest attack stat. Their passive is fully maxed out. We've got the support from STR Bojack. So what are we going to get here for their max attack stat? So Frieza just going to tank all of this. And then 1.56. So we just get over 1.5 million. So this is why I feel like they have to EZA, because they're just not good. I don't know what else to say. They're just not good. So let me know what you guys think of ZARBON and Dodoria. Definitely think they need an EZA to be runnable. I don't know what they're thinking otherwise. So this definitely feels like the very typical, we'll just make a bad TUR and give them an EZA straight away. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of them down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.